Welcome to Ecom Cowboy. This is D2C's daily show brought to you by Postscript and AMP, and we are coming to you live from an undisclosed location in the hill country of Austin, Texas, and we've got a jam-packed show for you today. We talk about one thing and one thing only, and that's what's now and next in e-commerce, so marketers and operators like you can survive and thrive. It's Friday, January 16th. Don't be sad. The weekend's almost here, and we're going to ride it out with you and send you off in a good way. Retail brands are hiring Hollywood executives. And what does that mean for us all? CEO doesn't just mean Chief Executive Officer. It means Chief Entertainment Officer now. Literally, quite literally. AI-generated video is now too good for any of us to tell. How can we take advantage, and what can we do from here? Why the lines between marketing and media and entertainment are officially gone. They do not exist anymore. And guess what? Adam Turner, CEO and co-founder of Postscript, he will be with us on the show. He's going to be with us very shortly. He's going to give us his data-backed perspective on everything that's happening in our world. And believe you me, Postscript, they have the data. As always, I am joined by my partner in crime, Colin Doherty. Colin, get in here.
Howdy, howdy.
Boy. Wow.
I'm ready to rock.
I tell you what, I can tell you are ready to rock because of that sweater that you are wearing. That quarter zip, it says it all to me, brother. It says it all. You know, Colin, I think that you are akin to this thought that is coming up, especially with how well dressed you are every day on this show. You know, Gap just hired a chief entertainment officer. They just hired a chief entertainment officer, and I think that says it all. It should tell us everything for what we're doing in our space. And really, this isn't about Gap. It's about the final collapse of the wall between brands and media and companies and entertainment and the attention economy. Attention is the new oil. How can we get more eyeballs on the wares that we are selling? They hired a former Paramount executive who's bringing this Hollywood thinking inside of retail. When you saw this, tell me, is this smart? Is it too late? Are they too big to execute on something like this that smaller creatives could? What do you think?
I love it. I love the play here. I think it's really smart. And Gap has sneakily made some really great investments in the past previously with some of the collabs that they've done. Previously this year, they did a collab with Summer Fridays, a really big makeup line. They're really smart with doing some intentional collaborations. So you have to understand that there's probably some smart people in this room. And so for them to do an a chief entertainment officer, I really love this because I think a lot of this is going to come down to entertaining the consumer, and we're all fighting for watch time. We're fighting for, the eyeballs, and who better to understand that than a chief entertainment officer?
Totally. I love this. I think it's a really smart move. I don't know if they could have given this exec a different acronym that's not CEO, just so they don't get confused. But I think it's super smart, and I agree with you. I think they have executed incredibly well. Of note for me is the Cat's Eye campaign that they did right on the back of American Eagle's Sydney Sweeney campaign. That Cat's Eye campaign went everywhere, and people are still doing that dance on TikTok now. So I think there's a lot of proof in the pudding. And I think it's real signal for the rest of us that we should act in kind. I don't know what a chief entertainment officer actually does beyond providing strategy and top-down view of what is going on in the culture and what the brand should be doing. But give me your thoughts for people in the nitty-gritty D2C space that we operate in. How does a brand act more like a studio. It's a great thought, but we've got to put some handles around that. How do you, I mean, how do you think this actually plays out in our world?
Yeah, I think the first step of this is kind of those collaborations that you talked about. I think you don't want to bite off more than you can chew as a brand, and you kind of scale into this. There's really big brands out there, like your Skims of the world, your Ridge Wallets of the world, that have kind of graduated to this level. But I think the first step is really kind of getting in these really incredible partnerships in place. You mentioned that Sydney Sweetie campaign with American Eagle. In my opinion, I would like to throw my hat into the ring on this. I
Oh,
thought I thought that was the campaign of the year
yeah,
for the total amount of people talking about it, the controversy around it, everybody that got involved. And you could also look at the American Eagle stock price post that campaign. It's up and to the right. So I think that's the first step. So if you nail down those partnerships, those collaborations first as a brand, and you have those quote unquote characters in your brand first, then you can make some entertainment around that. But I think you got
totally.
to walk before you can run with this type of thing.
Yeah, I think that's smart. And bringing in a creator that your audience knows and loves is an easy way to step into that. I think American Eagle is owned by Gap. Is that correct? Aren't they all owned by the same people?
That would make sense. I could see
I
that, but
think they are.
I don't think they are, but I could
You
see that.
don't? I
Yeah, I could
thought
see
Old Navy and Gap and American, I thought they all sat under the same person. Even Abercrombie. I thought they all were kind of owned by the same people. Maybe not. Maybe not.
Abercrombie's back too.
Yeah, Abercrombie's back. The early 2000s are back, you know.
Hollister, I'm gonna wear a double collar soon.
Exactly. What's old is new again. And where would we be? Yeah, maybe the culture wouldn't be there if Sydney Sweeney hadn't had that campaign. Who knows?
That's true.
I think that a person of note, an expert on this in our category is Isaac of Mini Katana. The
Oh,
guy he's the GOAT of earned media value using organic content, creating your brand with a studio entertainment forward edge. He released this banger article on X, not a thread. It is an article, and I thought this that he put toward the end was very worthy of highlighting here. For brands to compete in this world, they need studios. I emphasize studios that are nimble, react to trends as they come, and most importantly, make content that's hyper authentic and valuable. Yes, this can be primarily for short form and long form content. It can also be for ad accounts, but I also wouldn't be surprised if we see a big brand emerge that focuses on live streaming, not to be confused with live shopping, as Taylor highlighted the Truman Show brand last Friday, actually, as a core part of its existence. The future isn't about reaching everyone. It's about reaching the right people authentically. And the easiest time to start today. And I think for all of us, we probably wish we would have started 3 years ago or 5 years ago. But I totally agree. The next best time to start is right now. The fact is that right now, most of us, we rent our distribution by paying for it. We're operating on of somebody else's land. And our ad accounts, we have to buy those eyeballs because we're not getting that distribution ourselves.
yeah.
I think incredibly smart, obviously, what Isaac and his team have done, bringing in creators, hiring creators, and all they do is study and work on the thing itself. How can we make viral content, but also authentic content for who we're trying to reach? His point in the article is that maybe virality is dead and over in and of itself, but niche maxing, making authentic, valuable content for the customer that you want,
Yeah.
and doing it so much that you're willing to pay overhead for it and bring those people in house and make it happen. If you're not building media now, you're going to be paying a more expensive price for it forever. What's your thought? Is he on point here? I mean, I think that he is. I think that he is.
I think he is too. I would say build up to this. You don't have to go out and you don't have to buy a massive rig, super expensive cameras, all of the crazy stuff. the technology that is currently built into the latest iPhone is better than what I was trying to scale with 5 years ago. I'm telling you, the iPhone is incredible. Do what you're going to be able to use consistently. This is more about what am I going to be able to consistently push out content with every single day. There's a great example of this. Bart over at Dad Gang shoots almost exclusively on iPhone,
Great
and
point.
that Instagram channel is absolutely exploding. And he is in there shooting every single day. He's shooting photos, he's shooting videos, he's doing boomerangs, he's doing all the things, but he's doing it natively within the iPhone itself. So do something where you can be consistent with it.
Yeah, it's a good point. We don't all need to go and spend many thousands of dollars right now. The truth is we all have supercomputers in our pockets, and I'm always shocked by what that thing can do. I mean, especially, you compare to a year ago, 2 years ago. And a lot of times that iPhone shot content, it performs best, and Bart is an incredible example. Takeaway for me, get out my iPhone and start shooting now. This sounds like a Cut 30 commercial, but I'm convinced. I'm convinced this is the future. This is the now. And if we don't start now, producing content every day and getting better at it and studying it and not just experimenting and throwing spaghetti against the wall, which I'm often guilty of, but really studying this thing and taking it serious as Isaac has done and all the Cut 30 crew have done. And now obviously Gap is taking it more serious in a concerted way. They even have a chief entertainment officer. If we don't start now, bad news for us in the hereafter. A little mini studio is right inside our pockets. It's a good point, Colin. Well taken. You should talk about e-commerce on the internet more.
I'll try.
Yeah, I think you should. Before we move to somebody very important who is coming to us, I'd like to talk about focus. I'm moving forward to Postscript here, Carson. Focus is an incredible thing. And whenever you are truly focused on something, when you obsess over that thing, wow, boy, you can produce 10x results than anybody else can. That is what Postscript has done with SMS. And I was blown away. They're the only partner I know of in our space who will take the dare, the challenge. We want to make SMS revenue your top performing channel. We want to stuff more dollars inside of your wallet. SMS can do so much more than you thought it ever could. I remember when Alex Beller told me that himself, president at Postscript, we want to make SMS your #1 revenue channel. I was like, are you kidding? Do you really want to try and do that? Because it's hard to do. Well, I'll tell you, they took us from a low state in SMS revenue to being a top 1% account on their entire platform in less than a year's time. In 2026, ad costs are going up, and we're all looking for more dollars to be had. I think for you need to go to postscript.io/SMS-benchmarks. And what you're going to do, you're going to download that PDF, and you're going to be able to see my brand, my category, my revenue level. Where am I now? And where could I be in 6 and 12 months' time? Go to postscript.io, download those benchmarks, and then you need to go and talk to them. You tell them Chris and Colin sent you. Don't we all want a little more money at the end of the day? Yes, we do. That's what we're here for. Thanks to our partners at Postscript. And now we have a very important person who comes to us here. He is the dominator of Y Combinator. He is the savant of SMS. It is the one and only co-founder and CEO of Postscript. It is the Adam Turner. Adam, get in here.
Yeah,
Baby.
let's
go, baby. Wow.
Were those just off the dome?
That was off the dome, man.
He's creative.
You know, I was thinking about that this morning. I was like, man, we've got this big dog coming in here. He needs a proper introduction. Adam, we appreciate you coming on the show, man. I am blown away, and still, I think with you guys, on average, people see a 34x ROI on their SMS spend. When they switch, they see a plus 22% increase in revenue. And I know you guys are doing all kind of interesting things with AI and the shopper experience. Your tech with the opt-in, the on-site opt-in, I think has been incredible for all of us inside of our space. I would love to get your status of SMS as it is today, and also just give us your perspective on how AI is really transforming this channel and what you guys are seeing with shopper and the results there, et cetera.
Sure, you bet. You want the State of the Union? I'll give you the State of the Union.
Yes.
SMS. Okay. Let's see. I mean, like you mentioned, SMS is just like, it's incredibly ROI positive, and our customers see a lot of benefit. But I think that's frankly old news, right? Like everybody knows that. The State of the Union of SMS is, I'd say it's like a teenager that's like graduating high school, right? It's like getting out there in the world, like trying to make a name for itself even more. But it's still like, we see so much difference of performance across different merchants, right? Depending on what they're doing over the channel. And so if you have a big list, yeah, you're going to make a ton of money. Many folks have like a relatively small list compared to their email list. They may not know like how to utilize the channel with email, different things like that. And so we see things regularly where people like switch over to Postscript, and then they'll do something like they'll use on-site opt-in, and they were using like reply wide double opt-in before, and they'll see like a 35% increase in opt-ins, which will like massively boost the channel. And so I say teenager because it's not like email, where it would be very hard to get like a 35% jump in email revenue annually. It's those rocks are still to be uncovered for a lot of merchants within SMS. And so the channel itself, it's like everybody knows they should be doing it, and at this point pretty much everyone is doing it. But then you have this like pretty wide difference of performance between folks who are actually utilizing the channel. And so I'd say that's like, if you're building like a foundation of different things you could be doing on SMS, there's like very wide dispersion across the foundation. And then like if you go up towards the top, there are some people who are like, adding shopper to the channel, utilizing AI and infinity testing to like see which exact content resonates with their audience the most. And like fewer folks are doing that, but they're seeing like those similar 30% jumps in revenue when they do that. I think our average across like a ton of merchants for infinity testing is around 20. And that's like over a year and a half in, that's tested over, hundreds of millions of messages at this point. And so there's still a lot of that folks can be doing. I don't want to like just talk about Postscript stuff too, because there's like general stuff that people should be doing in the channel. RCS is coming up very, very quickly. We had our first customer send RCS for Black Friday, and they're like, a lot of folks are kind of hesitant about the channel because it's like maybe a little bit more expensive on the carrier fee side, but like the results are really, really incredible. You get these crazy benefits of like having a larger message on the lock screen show up for people. And so the RCS messages like show up differently for people. And I remember when my wife got her first RCS message and she was like, whoa, what is this? And like, I think a lot of folks are having, a lot of consumers are having that reaction to the channel too. So that's
Adam,
like
I don't even know what that is. What is an RCS
ask
message?
You to explain that. Yeah.
Yeah, this is
RCS
new. This is new for me.
Yeah.
Oh man, you call yourself the ecom cowboy? You don't know what RCS is?
No. Oh no.
We're not cool enough.
Oh man. Well, that's why we have you here, Adam.
Yeah.
That's why I'm here.
What's an RCS message?
So RCS is, if you think of SMS as kind of going over the cellular networks, where you can send an SMS even if you don't have any, if your like Wi-Fi and data is turned off, right? For RCS, it goes over the data networks, right? It's similar to like Apple Message has blue bubbles, right? And that means that it can send over Wi-Fi. It can be more of a rich message. You can send videos on iMessage. RCS is like that equivalent, but it works across iMessage and it works across Android. It's a Google protocol. They partner with the carriers to get it through. And it's essentially just like the V2 of SMS, I think, is the best way to think about it. It's not a totally separate channel. It's just like the next evolution of SMS. And because you can do things like, product carousels inside of it, it can
Really?
add type experience inside the channel. So it's going to be adopted very, very quickly. So the reason that this happened is because the carriers turned it on probably like a year and a half ago, and they just started letting brands on the channel as well. And so the experience is quite nice. Like you might get this if you're on a United flight or something, and they text you to check in. It won't look like a text. It's like it's branded from the brand. You don't need to save a contact card. It like comes in like a very unique message.
Wow. I mean, Colin, have you got one of those?
I want to get one. Yeah, I'm ready for it.
I'll shoot you guys over some brands so that you
we gotta start browsing.
Exactly. Colin, I want to take this into AI. I know Adam he's deep into this. Do you want to go somewhere else first?
I'd love to, let's talk AI, but I'd love to talk, Adam, a little bit about how you could see the ecosystem now moving forward, where it is today, and then how you see it progressing over this whole year, 2026. Where do you think it's going to go? I don't want to get too into like the macroeconomic trends for, political stuff and all that, but how are you seeing consumer kind of develop in the new year? We're all pumped about it, but what do you think is going to happen?
Sure. Yeah. So we're seeing similar data to what we saw last year in terms of even with the tariffs and everything that happened. We saw a lot of merchants like win really big, and a lot of merchants struggle, right? And I think that the sentiment is echoed on ecom Twitter and different things like that, which is like, it's really difficult right now. But I think that what people don't necessarily see are the people who are absolutely crushing it today. And there are ways to crush it. People are definitely figuring it out. And so again, I'd say that like people aren't riding the same wave from what I can tell. As an entrepreneur myself, I think of like that as an arbitrage opportunity where it's like, if everybody was losing, I'd be like, okay, it's just kind of cockroach mode and you have to figure it out. But because there's so many people who are having such different outcomes, and because their strategies can differ so much, right? Like it seems like the people who have like a content machine up and running. I saw you mention like brands need to be studios, right? Like the people who are figuring stuff out and not just tweaking dials, but making like sea changes within their business are able to see that ROI. And so as an entrepreneur, that actually like excites me because that means that the people that are actively looking at their business and reevaluating what they should be doing should be able to see ROI. It's not just like this, everyone's having trouble. And so that to me is super interesting about just e-com as a whole right now, is that there's a lot of opportunity. And because we see so many different merchants having such different outcomes, that presents an opportunity for people to like really arb that, I would say.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what I'm seeing within the data. That's what I would expect to see this year. It's hard to make a prediction about that. But I mean, you see this with like going into the AI side of things, you see this with any major technology change, is that there are going to be a wide range of outcomes for people that ignore it, for people that adopt it. And that's going to be uncomfortable for a lot of folks, but I mean, it is incredibly energizing for me.
Yeah, right. Okay. Well, take me into that. I kind of split myself in two at times on AI and continual change in our industry. Sometimes I'm a doomer. Okay. I admit sometimes I'm a doomer. I was a little bit yesterday, but most of the time I'm sunny skies and I'm really excited about the opportunities that we have. I would say you guys have a particular tangible positive ROI right now use of AI with Shopper. But give me a little larger perspective too. Are we heading to utopia? Is AI bringing us into a glorious future, or are there going to be a kind of a continual trend of this K-shaped results that we see, where some people are winning, and others may struggle if they don't adopt quickly enough? Just give us perspective on AI in general for our e-commerce industry.
Sure. Yeah, I think so. I'll give you my perspective as like a SaaS founder, how I think about it, and I think it's going to like map very nicely to ecom. So obviously I've been playing around a ton with these tools. I do think that there was something special that happened with the Opus 4.5 model. And I like built a SaaS from scratch to just to see how it was. The SaaS is like it creates dynamic landing pages using AI so that people coming from specific ads can see a specific landing page, and then they can go to the product detail page. So it helps like bridge the gap between ads and product detail pages. So I built the SaaS. It's not for consumption yet, but I did it kind of as a POC. And one of the interesting things that I saw is just how much you learn by building it. And one of the things that I learned was the AI can create so many different outcomes for you. So like if I want to make a landing page just using AI, even if I give it the same prompt 4 times, if I make slight tweaks to it, it can create like a very wide range of outcomes, right? And my entire job then is to look at the different range of outcomes, look at 10 landing pages. And it's kind of like, the Rick Rubin, where it's just like, you look at it, you feel that one is better than the other, and you just like get to choose that one, right? And so this is the same. I took that idea and I was like, what if I did this for like the landing page of my SaaS, the like marketing website? I made 5 different versions of it. And I just like was like, oh, this one, I like this one the most. And the versions were like totally different. One was like cyberpunk. The other one was like extremely standard SaaS. One was like very brutalist. And I was just like, oh, I like this one the most. I'm going to choose it. And then I thought, wait, what if I just like had all of these landing pages live and I had different ads going to different pages? And then what if people signed up on that landing page and they had a different entire SaaS experience based on where they came from? And so if you think about like, what if SaaS to everyone looked different based on their source of the ad they came from? Like what if their color scheme of their SaaS was different? And I think about this for ecom, it's even wider range because it's consumer versus B2B. And it could be the very same thing where it's like, okay, creative is essentially going to be infinite. Our ability to create creative is going to be infinite. Brands need to get really good at it. But then what happens down funnel from that, right? We've got A/B testing that we do. We've got infinity testing. Even that's great. But like, what if the entire website is different based on the ad that you come from? What if it's entirely different? Like, what if you're not even showing the same products to the same people, right? And I think that goes above and beyond what we've seen historically with AI, which is like great product recommendations. And I'm like, no, what if like the color schemes of your website are different? Because it converts better for this specific group of people.
Wow.
And I think that that's going to be available in the future because, the ability to create new pages, create new code is essentially going to be commoditized. And so the question is going to be, who has the best taste and who's going to convert the best with that best taste, and who has the tools to be able to test that at scale that much. So that's not SMS related at all. That's just where I think that like things are going based on the tools that I've created. And it's like, if I can create 5 different versions of a SaaS and just be like, oh, this one feels the best, then it's like, why can't I do 100? Why can't I show it to 100 different people and they can tell me? Yeah.
Colin, I mean, think about if you could have made an entirely personalized website, product recommendation per ad, per person, per visitor. That changes your business.
I was thinking about Act 2, like us specifically, like basically Chris and I would have different profiles for a different brand. We would get shown completely different stuff, completely based off of our consumer data. All the stuff Chris is into, he would get shown that stuff on the brand page. All the stuff I'm into, they'd show me the pit because I'm super into the pit right now. That would be on the page. And so you tailor this based off of like, I want to say, user data, like how long can we keep them on the site? But there's also that like, can we pull the max amount of dollars type of data? So there's that 2 juxtaposition of like, how long can we keep them on platform to how many dollars can we pull out of them? That's amazing. I just imagine you outside when you said the Rick Rubin thing. I just imagine you outside with the Rick Rubin headphones in, just kind of vibing in the chair in the sunlight. That photo. I just imagine you, Adam, just like that, just like, this is a good SaaS right now. I like this.
Yeah. It's like, you don't have to do any work, and like your whole job is to just like choose which feels good. And it's like, it's such a crazy thing.
I love
but
that.
I think to what you said, it's like, yes, you want people on site, you want all the data, but I think also all the tools are totally broken for this world too. If you think about like over the last 10 years, ecom was like, okay, like what if we want more data about someone? Let's put a quiz up on the site and like, let's ask them what type of like hair type they are, curly or straight or that sort of thing, right? And now it's like, okay, well, if I know their hair type, that's like one thing I can definitely personalize on top of that. But the fidelity that you get through a conversation, whether that's over SMS or any other conversational channel, is going to create the data that's going to make the experience much more personalized. And we already see this today with Shopper, where it's like, people will tell us like everything they did in a day. They're like, oh, I was like out shopping today and I like bought this thing, blah, blah. And it's like, you learn so much about someone. It's just like a friend, and you can use that to make their life and experience better. And so I think that the old tools are like, okay, I can get favorite color, I can get birth date from this person, I can get these specific attributes. And it's like, that is so already out of date. And then the question becomes, okay, what next are you going to get? And the answer is conversational data. And it can be over any channel, but it's going to be conversational.
Well, this is a great point that you bring up, and I think it's so tangible for much of what we're doing, especially on the retention side. I think that this kind of old way, which is the way that I commonly think about gathering data so we can make better informed decisions, make them fill out the thing, etc., so much more scalable and personalized and better if actually this person can just interact with my AI agent and collect incredibly large, more specific, more helpful, personalized information, and then allow a number of variations that would be infinitely better outcomes than just, I know what kind of hair they have now, I will send this shampoo. That's what you guys are already doing with Shopper. Is that the case?
That's exactly it. It's like, it's a whole different, I mean, from a tech side, it's a whole different type of data structure, right? It's not like hair type, it's like memories, right? Like memories about someone, and memories about people are temporal. They like have time decay. And so if someone said they're going on vacation this summer, why would you bring that up in a year from now? Right? Because like the summer is gone. And so the data types and the data structures are different purely from a tech perspective. But like you said, the more that I use ChatGPT, the better it gets for me, right? Like if I ask it about my blind spots, if it's fresh out, if I've never used ChatGPT, the blind spots are going to be totally random and arbitrary. But if I ask it for my blind spots after a year of using it, it's going to be like, you typically do this, you typically like miss these types of things. And even like our COO was doing this the other day. She's like, she created a whole like profile of herself using GPT. And she said, I found things out about myself that I believe are true now from ChatGPT. And so its ability to get to know you using like this new kind of data structure of conversational history, memories, different things like that is stronger than anything that we've seen in the past. So, and that's incredibly exciting for me because I love things that are win-win. I hate when anyone has to lose or anything else like that. And so as you give these tools more information, they do get better. And that's going to feel good to a lot of people on the consumer side and on the, just using ChatGPT side.
Wow. Adam, do you think that there's going to be some type of deal brokered between these LLMs and the advertising guys where it's like, I'm imagining it as the LLMs are basically making a pipe of all the consumer data back to Meta, Google, all these guys, where it's very deliciously enriched data on every single customer conversation that you're talking about. I mean, that type of data is a treasure trove for these advertising guys. Do you think that's in the near future?
Colin, that's the opportunity and the problem at the same at the same time. It's like I think back to like, Facebook likes, when people used to say, oh, like us on Facebook. And then Facebook like took that away from everyone. So like, yes, I do think that the advertisers and Meta and everyone else is going to get this data. And what do we know about e-commerce? Like owned channels and owned data is 100x more valuable than the advertiser having it, because you have to pay to access it every single time. Anytime you show an impression on Meta, you're basically paying for access to that ChatGPT data. And so we're like, whoa, like we need to get as much owned data inside the merchant accounts as possible, right? So the conversations that you have with your merchants or with your customers over Shopper, those are like the merchant owns that. And so that is it's like if we're saying data is the new oil, and this is so much more true with ChatGPT, then for the merchant, they need to like create their own reserve, right? They need to start having more conversations with their customers so that they don't have to rely on the advertiser data as much. So it's going to make ads better. It's going to make the consumer experience better. But also this is like, merchants need to start building their asset of conversations today. That's like the data asset of the future.
That's tasty. That's
That is
tasty. So the merchant
That's a
owns
tasty one.
that. The merchant owns that oil, baby.
Yeah,
I mean,
they own it. You got to
wow.
create the asset, just like a phone number list is an asset to a brand.
Yeah.
The amount of conversations that you can have with your customers is an asset to you in the future, and that can be
Wow.
used for personalization of the website. It can be used for personalization of SMS or RCS in the future. So, yeah, that's why again, as an entrepreneur, I'm just like every other ecom founder needs to be understanding what their data strategy is for this new world.
That makes me want to say, drill, baby, drill, Adam.
Yeah.
That's incredible, and that's perspective and knowledge that I definitely did not have coming into this conversation. Owned, direct, conversational wins. Build the asset, conversational data. We know that you are a busy man, and we appreciate you coming on the show. Give us 30 seconds before you leave. I've heard some people say on Twitter, specifically Matt Paulson, CEO at Market Beat. He says his take is SMS is going to be channel of the year for 2026. Is that overstated? I know I'm reaching in your bag a little bit, but is that overstated? I mean, do you think yes, it very well could be?
Yeah, I mean, throw RCS and any type of conversational data in there as well, and like that conversational is the experience of the year, right? And whether that happens on SMS or RCS, that's going to be how the brands are building this data asset for themselves, and I think that that's going to be incredibly important. I think that again, this is going to be obvious in like a year or two from now. People are going to be like, oh, like what does your conversational data asset look like? And people are going to have an opinion. And today they're like, what are you talking about? I like, if people reply, they get a reply back from me. And I'm like, why aren't you having longer conversations with your customers to understand them better? And I mean, people who work in retail already know this. They pay a ton of information to understand who's shopping at their stores, and merchants can get this for free as a part of their normal SMS and RCS. So I'd say, yeah, I mean, conversational is the channel. SMS still, there are so many massive leaps that people can get over the channel. If you think that you're doing well on SMS today, just like try and do the next big thing, like add on-site opt-in or add in shopper or add in infinity testing, and then you're going to get more revenue for the year. And for some of those people I know already, the people that are turning this stuff on are like, oh, I'm hitting my targets for the year and I'm already like ahead of schedule. Wow. Which is a really nice feeling working in a business to like be ahead of schedule for all of your like SMS revenue targets for the year. That is incredible. Adam, we appreciate you joining the show. I will now also refer to you.
Yeah.
Savant of SMS. You're not just the savant of SMS. You are the Rick Rubin of RCS. RCS, did I say that right?
Rick Rubin of RCS.
Rick Rubin of RCS.
Spicy.
We appreciate you joining the show, my friend. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, guys. Awesome to join.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was such a good conversation.
Yeah.
I didn't know RCS existed.
That's crazy. When you think about that conversational data for everybody, that is going to be the next frontier where all these LLMs are collecting. I mean, the most amount of data that I've fed into Gemini at this point, it could make a user profile that's probably very accurate. Yeah. And so if we could pump that into ads and make a real nice personalized ad for me, I'd love that.
Well, I thought this was a great point that he made too, is that, interacting on those LLMs, that's somebody else's land. We're going to have to buy that from them. But for the merchant side, if people are interacting like this on your SMS, then that info is yours. And so how valuable, as much as I've talked with chat, I wonder if it could sell me anything. They'd probably sell me a ketchup popsicle when I was wearing an all white suit. This to me is groundbreaking news. I didn't even know that RCS existed. And now to me, the quizzes on the pop-ups, this is like something from the early 2000s. It makes me want to take this leap forward and get some of these clients and friends that I work with and help out with, get them into this now, drill baby drill, and get into this new data oil era. I mean, we've got to build that asset. Everybody does. Conversational.
Yeah, that's huge.
That's huge. Well, appreciate Adam coming on the show. Moving forward here, speaking of AI, I'm going back here, Carson. I think everybody needs to see what has been happening with AI generated video. AI video now fools us all. It fools us all. You know, six months ago, a year ago, you remember, Colin, everybody was ridiculing all of these tools. So bad, so horrible. But you know, the creator's not threatened at all. I mean, look at some of these. We were seeing these examples on Twitter, and people just this one's incredible, just changing faces. And I've actually seen some of this guy specifically, some of his TikTok accounts that's just dedicated to one of these characters. Nobody knows. This is Levels here. I forget his actual name.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I just know him as Levels IO from Twitter. Famous independent coder. He's got a ton of businesses. I think he makes like 3 million a year. This is from one of his tools that he created where he just turned himself into a woman on video. I mean, it's phenomenal. And there was a ton of examples of these from yesterday. I think this probably kills trust, you know, maybe. But AI video has crossed a line. It's crossed a line at this point. And it's fooling not just boomers, but digital natives as well, myself included. I mean, did these fool you?
Really badly. And the two things that AI video was kind of not quite there yet was textures and shadows. Those were the two kind of bugaboos where you're like, okay, this is probably an AI video. I can tell by the texture of the video. I can also tell because they don't quite nail the shadows correctly for how this person will be lit or how they would be lit if they're moving like this. That last video from Levels, that's horrifying. That is almost, I mean, that is the closest thing I've seen to perfect in all of this. Like, that's unbelievable. I don't know how you guard against this. I don't know how I'm supposed to guard myself against this if I know a video is AI or not anymore. So I don't know. I don't know where we go from here.
I thought the example of the old man talking, this is like a YouTube channel where it's basically a number of videos where people are basically stating their regrets from life, what they wish they would have known. And it's old people who are talking at a very slow pace, tons of comments. It's getting over 1 million views, and literally nobody knows. Nobody gets it. Nobody gets it. I think obviously this is the collapse of visual proof as trust. Content's becoming infinite. It's becoming cheaper. It's synthetic, even though we can't tell. I'm not sure if this hurts or helps great storytellers, perhaps those who are really good at hooks and narratives and CTAs and weaving this in to a winsome video format. Maybe this just amplifies their capabilities all the more, which I think gets back to we need to become studios as brands. We're all media companies now, even Gap with its chief entertainment officer. I do think, though, this probably places a premium on truly human signal. I don't know how one does that right now beyond I opened my phone. There are literally no cuts. It looks shaky and it feels more authentic, although I'm sure some of these models can reproduce that as well. I think whatever this is, we need to get into it. Arcads, interestingly, which a lot of us were in hubbub about last week, Arcads, they positioned themselves in this as well. They made one, and it's the guy who's actually like a white guy from Eastern Europe. In the launch video, he came out as he was an Asian man, and then they showed actually I'm not. Well, he positioned himself with this woman video. See, you can do this with Arcads as well. Do it in 2 minutes. So it's not just ads, it's coming for creators as well. Trust is going to be the real currency. This is why I think live and IRL are going to be big. But there's an example here next that not even live is safe from the AI generated content. Carson, let's go forward. Let's go forward to this TikTok shop example. This comes to us from overseas somewhere. This is an example, and we don't have the video to play right now. But what happens here inside of this tweet is that this guy walks around the room, and essentially what these are multiple vertical screens where a video is being played, and in front of them, in front of each one of them, is a cell phone that is recording a TikTok live. So essentially what it is it is an infinite loop of live selling that is happening currently in the feed all of the time. That, to me, number one, I thought this is probably like the smartest thing ever. And every agency or scrappy founder should take note and do this right now. Just go buy a bunch of vertical screens and get everybody's cell phone in the company and set that thing up and
Yeah.
boop, live sell right here and right now. Not even live is safe. Not even live selling is safe from AI video or genuinely not humans in place live selling there. And then, Colin, what's your response to this at first blush? Smart, crazy, dangerous?
Yeah, I saw this video. I watched the video. It's absolutely wild. And the crazy thing is that setup is not terribly expensive to get up and running. So, like you just talked about, any brand could really just do this setup by tomorrow. You could get a vertical screen, you could get a phone, not terribly expensive for your brand. Get both them plugged in, set up, and you could start doing this almost instantly. It is pretty wild to watch that and just yeah, you don't even know because originally that is the push against this AI stuff is live selling. So if you don't even know if the live selling and you can tell that's the difference between AI or not, wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy. I don't know if this is sustainable.
I don't know.
Perhaps,
Yeah.
I don't know. Perhaps TikTok and other platforms will find a way to shortcut this. I don't know if it's a bubble. I do think brands can find a way to win here. Maybe you film yourself doing actual lives for multiple weeks, and then you start re-showing those same ones in this kind of similar setup. It is a spectacle. I think that's what's drawing. That's what has magnetic power around live and live selling, is that it's happening now. Something could happen that I wasn't prepared for. Chris could drop the card. I could spill my drink, which is Postscript purple, by the way, since Adam was coming on the show. There is a kind of spectacle with all this that I wish could stay truly human. I feel a little FOMO and a little urgency to get live in other ways right here and right now, because maybe, I don't know, maybe AI will find a way to replace us all, even in the live realm. But there is a lot of energy here. And in a way, there's a kind of a rebirth of live commerce and its energy. This is QVC, this is Twitch, this is TikTok, it's YouTube all in one. And I think there's a lot for us to consider, both on the agency side, both on the brand side, and on the software side. How can we take what's available to us now and use it for the benefit of our customers and also for the benefit of ourselves and our companies, and adding more to the bottom line? Any other payoffs for you, takeaways, Colin, before we move forward?
This isn't even Colin. This is an AI version of Colin.
We've been tricking everyone this whole time.
Dude. I made an AI version of myself, and he just has kind of guardrails. So we don't even know if we're real at this point. I have to ask myself that question now. Am I real? What's going on?
Hard to say.
It's hard to say.
Hard to say. Well, in this same vein, I think as Oren and so many others in our space have iterated and re-emphasized, infotainment, the combination of information and entertainment, be it using some AI, be it all human driven, infotainment there's gold in there. And I loved this example from Philippines Airlines. I think this is a great example of them becoming a studio. I think it's a great example of them using content both to entertain and also inform. And we've got it playing here right now with the sound off. But essentially what this is it is a flight instruction video where they're telling you all of the boring things that they need to say to you that nobody wants to listen to. What they've done is they've transformed what is a truly boresome task. They've transformed it into a telenovela, which I think we all love. Maybe many in our male audience never watched before they got engaged or married, and now they find themselves watching those Korean dramas or those telenovelas. And this was so engaging for me. I absolutely loved it. Everybody should go find this on YouTube because it's funny, it's engaging, it makes me laugh, it makes me want to see the end. And at the same time, they're sewing in all of the things that they need and have to say to you. I think this is a great example for all of us, be it in the creative space or on the brand side in-house. It's a great example for us to take away. How can I do this for my customer base? What's your thoughts, Colin?
Yeah, this is incredible. I mean, this is how AI should be used. The chief entertainment officer for Gap is taking notes right now on this is a home run. I mean, the creativity to come up with this, and then also the chutzpah to also say this is what we're going to do, and kind of go out on a little bit of a limb here where this is a little bit out of left field, but it's an absolute home run. This is hilarious too. It also resonates really well, and you're doing the education piece that you and I both know it's extremely boring. Put your seatbelt on, don't vape. There's these things, and you're just like, we've heard this 600 times. This is awesome.
I think too, for all of us in the B2B space, of which there are many, I think this is a great example. B2B e-commerce is a thing, and a lot of us work in B2B services or in B2B SaaS. This is an incredible example of how to take the boring messages that you need to communicate and spice them up, make them winsome, make them funny, make them engaging. I have never traveled to the Philippines. I have been to Asia a few times. I've never been on the Philippines Airlines, but if I were to go to the Philippines now, if I were to find myself in Cebu needing to take a trip there for whatever reason, I want to fly on this airline. I love them now. I don't know of any of the other competitors that they have, but they have won my trust because they made me laugh. And I think maybe particularly with men, if you can make a man laugh, he'll probably buy your product. I mean, that's my take. Maybe I'm being a little autobiographical here, but I don't think this is overkill. I think it's genius, and especially a good lesson for those of us who have boring businesses or exist inside of boring verticals. Surely there is a way to get creative, especially with all the AI tools available to us. Apply a human mind there, win hearts and minds, make them laugh, and endear yourselves to your future customers. At the end of the day, it's like Adam said, at the end of the day, especially as things become more and more commoditized, we're going to be making brand choices. We're going to be making taste choices. This to me is a great play for taste. Anyway, I would love to see some more of this coming out of like our SaaS partners or coming out from our agency partners. Don't you think that this would spice things up in the SaaS realm?
I immediately want somebody in SaaS to steal this and start to make something like this. But it would be even funnier is if the telenovela featured all of the key players in the e-com SaaS world.
Yes.
You have all the main players that you see all the time on Twitter, and that's your telenovela for your e-com SaaS. I love this. I think someone should steal this right now and try to start hitting the airways with this with your e-com SaaS.
Well, I'd just like to make ourselves available to Postscript. Postscript, hey, if you want to do a telenovela, I think Colin and we can find a way to make an appearance. Very smart. Let's move forward here. And before we get there, well, no, let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and talk about subscription fatigue. We're getting towards the end of our show, but I think this is very relevant for those of us perhaps not on the front end of acquiring customers, but spend more time on the back end of keeping customers, an equally valuable part of what we do. It's not, you don't just earn money on the acquisition, you earn money on the customer and how long you keep them. This comes from modern retail. And essentially their point here, especially for food kits and like businesses and products. Subscription fatigue has hit.
Yeah.
I feel this myself as a consumer. Subscription fatigue has officially arrived. Too many monthly commitments, too many people trying to gain your business, 5 or 6 offers coming at me at one time as I try to leave your website. Colin, give me your take. Do you think subscriptions are broken? Are there simply too many of us trying to do them with too many tactics? I think a lot of brands are feeling this, but what's your take on subscriptions here forward in 2026?
For sure. I definitely think there is subscription fatigue where it's just too many things you want to subscribe to. And it starts to really creep up on that monthly expenditure. Noticeably, I think 2 days ago, Tesla just released the fact that the full self driving is no longer purchasable for that $8,000 one time payment. Moving forward, thereafter, it's going to be a $100 a month subscription that you can sign up for, and then it's full self driving. But I thought that was interesting because of the math makes sense for that. So, yeah, 100 divided into 8,000, you basically take 6 years to have that full value. That's pretty fine for a car for automatic self-driving. So you really have to make sure the actual value you're delivering with this subscription makes a ton of sense. There's a lot of subscription products out there where they're constantly charging me, and I'm just like, I'm a little fed up with it. Where I'm kind of like, I don't really find the need to pay for this anymore.
Wow, that's a brain breaker for me. Self-driving at $100 per month, I'll happily take that. I mean,
Right?
to not have to touch my steering wheel and just say,
Yeah.
go here, that's awesome. When I compare that with, hey, here's a gummy brand that's probably going to give you these benefits and make you feel better. I know you're a little suspicious about it in the first place. Let me give you this and that and that and that. Now sign up for 12 months, and maybe that creeps up closer to $100 when you
Yeah.
add it all up at the end of the day. That, it's a real juxtaposition. Like, what do I really want to commit to? I think a lot of us in the subscription product space are feeling this. And I don't know. How do we earn the commitment of customers monthly? It's no longer just a set it and forget it. Consumers are prioritizing their flexibility a little more, and perhaps even our retention focused marketers need to engage in that entertainment space to win hearts and minds, to win that share of wallet monthly and beyond. I think what's playing out is that simply a one-time generous offer that locks you in for an extended period of time, that may be going away simply because there's so many of us who are doing it. And it looks like we're going to have to do more to really earn that share of wallet hereafter. Wow. Tesla doing all of that for $100 a month is crazy. Convenience alone is not enough.
Yeah.
Value's must be re-earned daily.
That's
There's
it.
a war.
At the end of the day.
There's a battle to be had for those share of dollars. Well, speaking of LTV and share of dollars, before we get to the end of our show, and I'm moving forward to AMP here, Carson. Speaking of LTV and CAC and share of wallet and knowing your numbers, don't we all want to scale with confidence in 2026? I think that we do. And for sure, because of rising ad costs, because of tariffs, because of the various onsets of AI, human capital, overhead, all of the things, don't you need to know your numbers? You do. And if you can't explain how your business is doing in one dashboard in a couple of sentences, I'm not sure that you know how your business is doing. Common problem I face is that boss man or boss lady, they want to know, Chris, how are we tracking toward forecast? And I'll say, well, I've got my sheets. Somebody else has got their sheets. There's data hither and thither. That's why I love AMP, because inside of their platform, all of your important metrics, how you are tracking toward forecast, how much those customers that you won today are worth on average. All of it's in one place and space. Don't you want that? I think that you do. Their tool that's my favorite personally is Lifetimely, but that's not all that they have. You should go to useamp.com, go to useamp.com, test drive the platform for yourself, and scale with confidence in 2026. Solve some problems for yourself, some headaches, make yourself look really smart to your department head or to your founder, or the reverse, make yourself look really smart to your entire team. Show them this new fancy toy that you have that's actually not a toy. It's going to help you make a lot more money at the end of the day, thanks to our partners, AMP. They're sponsoring of the show. Colin, here as we exit and get toward the end of our time, I'd like to hit on one more story that I think is really relevant. I specifically love this. I've done it myself to at least to a small degree. I love this collab between Bridgerton and Jenny's Ice Cream. Did you see this?
No, I know both though.
Okay. All right. Okay. I've never seen Bridgerton. I know of it simply because I exist in 2026 and I have perused Netflix many a times. To me, this is a great example of making exciting stuff with content your audience already loves. Limited runs, your niche, their deal. I think the application here for people in our space is how can we niche max, launch exciting new products that don't already exist in our catalog, and do it in combination with a creator that our audience likes better than they even like us. To me, I really love this. I know that Bridgerton has mass appeal, but in some sense, this collab's not for everybody. I mean, I've never watched Bridgerton. I don't know that I'm going to buy Bridgerton ice cream. I'm not. But this is incredibly appealing to the right customer inside of the niche that they exist in. And I think that's why it worked. And that's why it's continuing to work so well. I'd love to see more of this played out in our space at a nitty gritty, down and dirty D2C level, partnering with creators to make real products that will never exist again, to excite, borrow from their audience, and get people into your ecosystem in a winsome way that perhaps they would not have otherwise. Now, what's your impression when you see this?
Absolutely love this. Also, shout out to Jenny, as a Charlotte legend.
Wow.
I've had my fair share of Jenny's in the past. I'll probably also buy this as well, just because I love ice cream. My waistline knows that. This is so great. This is what we try to talk about on this show all the time. These really limited edition, great collabs where you're doing a really fun product. The flavors look really cool. This is a great ability to go super deep within that niche and hit a home run for people that are super fans of Bridgerton. And there are, I can promise you, crazy super fans of Bridgerton that are obsessed with the show. And I will promise you they're going to buy this ice cream. And Jenny's ice cream is a very high price point, by the way.
And there's probably more fans of Bridgerton than there are of Jenny's, I would guess. I mean, I don't know, but I think this is a great example of bringing someone in that at least some of your customers love and making something unique. When I was at Bruce Bolt, we did a number of these collabs, unique batting gloves, limited runs that would not be available thereafter. I think there's a couple of points here to hit, takeaways for people in our space. If there's scarcity, true scarcity, this is a limited run. It will not exist. It's available at this time. Sign up now so that you're the first to know. Get on our SMS list, Postscript SMS list, and have some conversation now. Acquire that data, the conversational data. A few points there. Somebody that your audience loves. A unique product of yours that will never be available again. Give me your data now so that you are sure to get it when it drops. This worked like a dream for us in 2024. And I'm such a fan of this. You know, the economics around it, I think a lot of people start to get into, well, you know, I want to see how much value the creator really gives us and how much traffic did they actually drive. Let's do some UTMs. Let's like make sure we're not giving away the farm. I'm not a fan of that. Guys, I think just do it. Just do it. Give them a healthy percentage. I mean, just try it. Just say, hey, let's make this thing together. It's only going to exist for this time. We'll give you X percentage. Let's see how it goes. Let's roll it out. I mean, to me, that creates a winsome experience for your creator and for your audience. And guess what? If you don't get the sense that they really perform for you or sent that much traffic to you, that's okay. That's okay. You don't have to do it again. That's my take. Make it a real win for the creator, real win for your audience. If you don't like it at the end of the day, that's okay. It was a limited run. You don't have to do it again. And is that too much, Colin? Or you think that's fair?
That's great. Plus, you get learnings from every single campaign of creators you like working with, SOPs you like doing with creators. The first time you're going to work with a creator is not going to be, or a brand collaboration, it's not going to be the home run like this, probably, unless you're working for a crazy, amazing brand. You're going to learn over time after 5 or 6 brand collabs. We should really do this. This is what our customers love to do. Here's a great idea. Here's the SOPs we have. And now you have more of a holistic view of like, actually, what do my customers care about?
Well, I appreciate all of that time with you, Colin. And I appreciate our viewers for joining us. Big props to Adam, CEO of Postscript, for joining us today and dropping fresh SMS and AI bombs on us. Thanks to our partners, Postscript and AMP. And the good news is that you're about to have a great weekend. We are as well. And we're going to be back with all of you on Monday. Thanks for joining us and have an awesome weekend, my friends. See ya.